Hey guys, so welcoming you back to another video on Airsoft Shirley, codenamed Splinter. I am doing a video on my Glock 17 by Umarex. I found it on Amazon about, I think, $169, I believe it was. That was the price I got it for. It could have been updated by now, but it is a sweet pistol. I took the orange tip off because it's not illegal to not have it on in Indiana, so I took that off. Finally got a holster for it a couple weeks ago, and now I'm going to do a review on it. First off, this is the holster I got for it. It's on Amazon. I'll show you a picture of it right on the screen. It's a pretty good holster. It fits tight, doesn't press the trigger, nothing. Has a swivel bar, so if I don't know where possibly it is. So there's a release right here. There's also a thing right here that I could twist it with. I pull that down, it's able to twist. If I just like having it straight up. Taking out of the holster, it's the easiest slide in and out. And this is a Airsoft. Yeah, it is licensed by Glock, but it is a Airsoft pistol, the Glock 17 Gen 4 Airsoft pistol by Umarex. So if YouTube sees this, so you know this is not a real gun right now. I'm not one of those channels. Not yet. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a good pistol. Iron sights. I'm not going to aim this down in my face because I'm not stupid. Sights are lined up pretty well. Slide is pretty amazing. The slide is pretty good. I have some scratches on here. That is what you guys are going to want. Some silicone oil. This is stuff that you could use on engines, or of course you could use on guns. Yeah, you could get gun oil as well, but you could get just silicone lubricant, a spray that you could use, put it on all the areas that metal scratches against each other or like hits. So lubricating that would be a good idea. Locking the slide back into place. Yes, it does lock into place like this. When you unload the clip and it's done, shot the last BB, it'll pop back like this. And as soon as you put in another mag, or as soon as you reload your mag, you put it in and you can slide it back like that. It's a crisp sound too. It is an amazing sound. Just hearing that, or even that if you're doing that, is just a good sound. I don't know if I'm going to get a flashlight. I don't think I will. I will be getting a red dot. This part does come off. This part I can't figure out still, but this comes off. Part of the iron sights. Putting it back on. But the attachment you get for red dot just goes right here. It'll slide on. Then you put your red dot on, or whatever you want to put. I don't care to put a sniper scope, but I'm not going to do that. That's not sensible. But it's a good pistol. Safety mechanism is on the trigger. Right here, that little safety part. The trigger will not move if you do not press that button right there. It will not come back. As soon as you press that, and it'll go. Taking it apart is easy. There's this right here, slides right off. Internals are nice. Usually it's well lubricated with their production oil, but I'm going to put my own silicone oil. Sorry, I'm a little tired today. But I'm going to put my own silicone oil on it in the areas like right here along the slide, like where the slide connects along those. Put some in the gears down here, as well as put along here, putting some of the Pennzoil. Let me look for it. Okay, so I cannot seem to find the oil, but I think it's behind my clock. It's just that oil, the little red oil that you get with the CO2 when you use CO2 guns. The little lubricant that you put on the mag when you put in the CO2 right here. You put like a drop of that stuff and put it on the actual CO2 canister. When you put it on there, it'll make sure that it's well lubricated. That is a separate lubricant. That's the I use Crossman for my CO2 and the lubricant stuff that you put on that. Do not lubricate your actual gun with that stuff. For God's sake, use either gun oil or silicone oil. Those are the best two options to use. But I recommend, and a lot of other people recommend, silicone oil. There's a Airsofter or well, I don't know if he does airsoft. I know he does a lot of reviews. You might have seen him. He's, I think, Australia or England or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but he does a lot of airsoft reviews. I saw the pistol, the Umarex Glock 17 review that he did, and I was like, you know what, I like that pistol, I'm gonna get it. I checked the scar out from a YouTuber, Airsoft Alphonse, I think is how you say it. I checked out his scar video. I liked it. He has a $615 one. I just got the 265 Cybergun one. But looking more in depth at this, you want to put oil along here. Put that special oil right here. Of course, lubricate this area. Lubricate the part of the slides, places where the metal connects. Not really have to lubricate the spring, but maybe put some oil at the top here, as there is some weathering damage on this, on the barrel. If you don't care about the barrel, you don't have to, but it'll start to rub off after a while. Barrel does come off. See, it's just, you know, the body now. Put some oil right here at this spot right here. So if you don't want these two to rub up like that and start to weather it, I'm going to put some oil right here as well. You put oil down the barrel, put some down the barrel and run like a rag through it, or as of, I think I have a guiding rod over here. One of these guiding rods right here. Take it. You could not do that. So if the barrel's like in place, you just do that while having the silicone oil in, and it'll clean it, as well as, you know, you'll be oiling it. But to show you the process of my oiling, I'm going to take a little bit of this. So of course I just, you know, put the straw in because I don't want the actual spray. I just want to have that little bit of spray coming through. And this is just blaster silicone oil, like what the stuff you could get at Walmart. So I'll just take a little bit. Just kind of. Oop, that's way too much. Hold on. So of course, you know, having your gun well lubed is nice, but having it lubed that much is a little too much. Of course, not that it matters with that area specifically, but also take a Q-tip. Take a Q-tip, clean along these areas before you do any lubricating. As you see, there's some of that black stuff. Yeah, I probably should have cleaned this before I lubricated it, of course. But I'm going to have to re-lubricate anyways. Clean those areas inside the barrel, of course. Take the Q-tip. You could shut the Q-tip down or use the other form of way to do it. Clean these areas. Make sure that they're mostly clean so that you don't let the oil get dirty. Of course, the oil is going to get dirty anyways from the process of, you know, firing it. But if you don't want to get super dirty, I just recommend using certain areas. Oop, can fell over. What was I lost? Straw. Straw seems to keep coming out. So what else? So be careful about where you put your can, so that you don't, of course. Trying to be careful as possible. So not that much comes out. That's what I'm trying to look for, is making sure I don't have a lot of oil coming out, because it could mess with functioning system. And of course it went out a lot, but all I have to do to clear that up is just wipe it off a little bit. course, straw came out again. Seems to be I've lost its straw now, so that's nice. Take a little bit there. As I go through the can, it'll probably start to get a little bit more smoother. Right now, I'm just well oiling it, of course, making sure that it's not going to have any problems. Now this one's a little dirty. I have not changed it out yet, but as long as it does the job, yeah, I probably still should be changing it. But for the sake of the video right now, and the fact that I'm going airsofting tomorrow as well, trying to save some time doing this stuff. So as you rub some of it off, don't rub it off completely, leave a little bit on. So like take it off the sides and everything. But if you want to keep it on that main spot, of course, leave that spot well lubricated. Putting this back in, as well as a spring. Now that should be all lubricated. And now on to the actual gun part, lubricating some of these areas. Lubricating some of this. So these main areas I'm lubricating right here, as you see in those areas. Then rubbing it off a little bit, or like dapping it, just so some of it is off. So I don't take off all of the oil. And so leaving that little bit of oil to make it work. Now putting the slide back on, should be a little bit more. See how it cocks back easier? And it's more lubricated than it used to be. That's what we want. As a CO2 mag, there is a few other CO2 mags you could get. I am just going to be using the main ones like this one. I'm going to probably buy another one like this one. Or I'm going to get the other Elite Force one, but if I see another CO2 one for the Glock 17, I'll get it as long as it fits. But I like these ones better because it just looks cooler, and of course it looks extended. It has more rounds as well. I fit 24 in it. As you see, the stacked right there. I stack it the right way. Usually I hold it down and click a few in at a time, so that it makes that ladder stack. And of course, putting it in, fits perfectly, won't come out, is not loose. CO2, all you do is at least loosen the CO2 is this hole right here. There is a specific pin, or not a pin, but an Allen wrench that you use. You could probably use your own, but I'm using the stock one that they have. To change the CO2, you just unscrew it. There's a base plate right here that screws down. You take your CO2 out, they're the one that you use. It's not going to come with one, of course. None ever do. But it comes with one mag, the gun, the Allen wrench, instructions, of course. And that's all, really. You have to buy your own CO2. You have to buy your own lubricant oil, this and that. But I use Crossman. I don't know if you kind of see the logo for Crossman right there. I use Crossman. Of course, I put that lubricant on there on the top of the CO2 and in that little pressure plate right there that makes the CO2 piss. So it pissed. which means that it is locked into place and the CO2 is good. Of course, if I wanted to have it loaded right now, I'd have it open, slide in the mag, then cock it back. But right now, I don't want it that way, so I take out the mag, I do that, and I just have it like that for now. Sometimes you'll have the oil coming outside. As you see here, there's some that comes out. All you do, if you don't like the oil being there, you can wipe it off, make sure there's nothing else. But this is how it is. It's good to go. The Umarex Glock 17 Gen 4. Ooh, look at the shine in there. There's that lubricant's making it shine a little bit. But it is the Umarex Glock 17 Gen 4. I get it on Amazon for $169.99 plus tax and shipping. Unless you have Amazon Prime, then lucky you. But that's my sidearm. It's a pretty good one. The holster is a pretty good one. I'll be putting both of those links in the description, as well as showing you guys the images on the video when I talked about them. But of course, Airsoft Shirley is signing out for this video. Be back for the next one.